Heavy Israeli strikes have hit Tehran. Iran's allies have launched attacks across Gulf states, and shipping through the Strait of Hormuz remains severely disrupted, pushing global oil prices sharply higher. Here is what has happened in the past 24 hours. First, inside Iran, the country's new supreme leader Mujtaba Khamenei issued his first statement since taking office after the assassination of his father. He warned that Iran will continue attacking Israeli targets and US military bases across the region unless countries hosting US forces shut those bases down. Khamenei also signaled that pressure through the Strait of Hormuz will continue.
باید حضور مؤثر در صحنه از جمله حضور دشمن شکن در مراسم روز قدس مورد توجه همگان باشد. قطعاً همچنان از اهرم مسدود کردن تنگه هرمز باید استفاده شود و در مورد گشودن دیگر جبهه‌های آسیب پذیر دشمن فعال سازی آن در صورت استمرار وضع جنگی و بنابر رعایت مصالح صورت خواهد گرفت. همانطور که هشدار صریح داده بودیم و بدون اینکه تعرضی به آن کشورها صورت دهیم، همچنان معتقد به لزوم دوستی بین خود و آن همسایگان می باشیم و صرفاً همان پایگاه ها را مورد حمله قرار داده و از این پس باز هم به ناچار این کار را ادامه خواهیم داد. ما از انتقام خون شهیدان شما به خصوص جنایت در حق کودکان همچون جنایت عامدانه در مدرسه میناب صرف نظر نخواهیم کرد. همچنین از رزمندگان جبهه مقاومت تشکر صمیمانه دارم. ما کشورهای جبهه مقاومت را بهترین دوستان خود می‌دانیم. امر مقاومت و جبهه مقاومت جزئی جدایی ناپذیر از ارزش‌های انقلاب اسلامی است.
Meanwhile, fighting around the Iranian capital is intensifying. Explosions struck near a pro-government rally in Tehran attended by senior officials including Ali Larijani, Masoud Pezeshkian, and Abbas Araghchi. At least one person was killed. Iran's health ministry says more than 1,400 people have been killed and over 18,000 injured in US-Israeli strikes since the war began on February 28th. At the same time, Iran has expanded retaliation across the Gulf. Waves of missiles and drones have targeted countries hosting US forces and energy infrastructure. Saudi Arabia says it intercepted dozens of drones, while Bahrain reports destroying more than 100 missiles and nearly 200 drones since the war began. The United Arab Emirates says Iranian strikes have hit areas near Dubai International Airport and hotels, while Oman confirmed 2 deaths after a drone was intercepted near an industrial site. Qatar has closed its airspace but is running more than 140 special flights to evacuate residents. The escalation is also spilling into global energy markets. Attacks on ships and threats in the Strait of Hormuz have severely disrupted traffic through the route that normally carries about 1/5 of the world's oil supply, helping push oil prices sharply higher this week. In the United States, President Donald Trump said US forces had obliterated Iranian military targets on Karg Island, a key energy hub. Washington is also preparing to deploy a 2,200-strong Marine Expeditionary Unit from Okinawa to the Middle East to support operations and possible evacuations. At the same time, domestic pressure is growing, with more than 250 US organizations urging Congress to halt funding for the war, arguing that billions already spent could have been used for urgent domestic needs. Over in Israel, the military says Iran launched another barrage of missiles early Friday, triggering air raid alerts across affected areas. Israel says it has also targeted besieged checkpoints in Tehran, while Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the war could create conditions for regime change in Iran, though he added that any uprising would have to come from the Iranian people themselves. The conflict is also spreading across neighboring countries. In Iraq, all 6 crew members were killed when a KC-135 refueling aircraft crashed in western Iraq, according to US Central Command. Iraq has also shut port operations after an attack on a US-owned oil tanker killed an Indian crew member. In Lebanon, Israeli strikes have killed at least 687 people, including 98 children, and displaced up to 750,000 people, according to Lebanese officials. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has arrived in Beirut on what he called a solidarity visit. So in just the past day, the war has expanded across Iran, the Gulf, Israel, Iraq, and Lebanon, while also shaking global energy markets and political debate in Washington. And with attacks continuing across the region, there is still no clear sign that the conflict is slowing down.